Let's move on, though, into our next topic, Johnny, and we're going into some DC, some DC TV. Well, their streaming service is the Titans TV show. Haven't talked about it in a while when we had the first look at Robin. What is he going to be? What Dick Grayson, I believe that's the Robin they're going for with this one. But we got some set photos released. We got a leak from Geek Vibes Nation on Twitter, but then also the bad petitions. Is that what it is? Whatever. The thing on Twitter says Teen Titans. Don't know if it's an actual Teen Titans account or not. Probably not, but it still is leaked. We get Starfire, we get Beast Boy, we get Raven. For you guys watching and listening, those pictures will be in the articles down below in the description so you guys can see them. Johnny, I want to start with the Raven Beast Boy picture first. Yeah. What's your first impressions of Beast Boy and Raven as we see them together? I don't know if this is actually shooting or them like on set, but just not on camera. Yeah, because it looks like Raven's got a little cup there.
Yeah, that could be either hit or miss because we don't know what's going on in the shows exactly. Yeah. You know what? I'm not 100% like hating it and not 100% loving it. I mean, to me,
you at first was hating on Beast Boy.
A little bit. I was a little bit, but I did add that, you know what, I'm not opposed to it, but I prefer him with the green skin. Like the hair is like, okay, that's Beast Boy. That works for me. And then you pointed out, and I didn't think about it because I'm not used to as much DC stuff as are you.
The red and white.
I did forget that wasn't like what his suit looks like. I'm not opposed to it looking like an Adidas hoodie because he make it look like something someone normally could get.
Well, the red and white, it's interesting because if the cartoon was your only thing, you're thinking, well, why isn't it purple and black?
Yeah, very true.
But in the comics, he was very red and white.
I think even in one of the Teen Titan movies or something like the cartoon movies
that he went to the red white.
The red and white, yeah. It's one where he has a tail.
Yeah. So, like, for me, I like that. Like,
I do too.
Beast Boy to me, I like the look. I'm not gonna.
I like the look.
Here's another thing though, and I don't mean to cut you off here that we got to think about. These are photos linked from set. Yeah. We don't know what the CGI is going to be.
Exactly. I agree.
We don't know what's gonna be going on with maybe they CGI his
face
green screen, well, his hands and everything. Yeah, they just CGI him green. And you might be saying, well, Ricky, if they were going to do that, wouldn't he have the CGI stuff,
the dots
on his face? I don't know how they're going to do it.
And again, I mean, the other part is we don't know if this is actually part of set or this is
or if this is they're on set.
Well, I'm saying like part of the movie or just on set. That's what I'm saying.
We don't know if they're in front of camera here, but if they don't make his screen green, I'm not gonna like Beast Boy. I'm not gonna harp on it too much.
I'm not gonna pitch a fit
because I like the outfit. I like how it's not like, because I had this discussion with you off camera before we came into this podcast. Was the one thing I had heard from some complaints was that you get like these big studios do TV movies and they do the costumes so differently when you've got cosplayers on there on a shoestring budget doing better things. Here's the difference between those, and I don't want to disrespect either one of them because the cosplayer who goes out and does it on a shoestring budget, I love it. That's why whenever we go to Comic-Cons, I love asking people, hey, can I take a picture of your cosplay? Because the work that I know goes into it and just admiring that work that goes into it, but they're two vastly different things. Where the cosplay, you have an idea of, you know what? Like, there are some that are like, I'm going to take this and put my own spin onto it. Yeah. But most times than not, I want that and I am replicating that. I am trying to replicate something and put it on myself. Whereas these movie and TV
they're trying to put their own interpretation to
it. It's always like a studio comes in, maybe like a Jeff Johns, hopefully, like a Kevin Feige. Hey, this is kind of like, this is the ballpark of what we're thinking. We're going to give you, though, a little bit of creative leeway here, though, with it.
And you know what? With these two, with Raven and Beast Boy, I'm not opposed to the creative changes. Yeah. Honestly, if you leave his skin normal and make him change into animals and they're all green, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah.
Because you know what? That's what happens. It's the one like drawback to being him being able to change the animals. They're all green.
Yeah.
So you know it's Beast Boy. It's not like he can do a ton of espionage with that.
So if he changes into a tiger and it's a regular tiger, then you're going to throw the hissy fit?
Not a hissy fit, but I'm going to say, come on. I'm going to be I'm going to be a little upset. I'm going to be, really, you guys couldn't like somewhat adapt to the cartoons?
We also don't know if they're going to change anything. And I know people, ooh, don't change anything. What if they change something where he's not green, but something happens in the TV show and then he is green?
That works for me too.
And it's like, holy crap, now I got to live with being green?
Maybe.
What about Raven?
Raven? Now that I'm looking more and more at it.
Because there have been, like, the two people that fans have ridiculed the most for their look with these photos is Raven and Starfire.
We'll get to Starfire after this.
But Raven is the second one.
I'm not 100% opposed. Now I'm looking more and more at it because I'm thinking about it. She's kind of a gothy, grungy teenager. And now that I'm like thinking, now that I've got more of that mindset thinking about it, the blue hairs like becomes, oh, it's a statement. She's like dyed part of her hair blue, but the black showing underneath. That kind of more so screams real world, does it not?
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it more, and yeah, maybe the stone will come eventually. That'll be with the Trigon story.
Yeah, the stone isn't going to be, like, I know that...
Not till like the end, right?
Yeah, there were some people online that were like, well, why doesn't she have the stone in her head? The stone's not going to be there right away because, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, is... So, the stone... she trapped Trigon in the stone.
Yeah.
So if the Teen Titans TV show is going to be revolved around Trigon as the main villain, of course she's not going to have that until maybe the end, maybe not until season 2, until they actually get to
not until he traps
where
Trigon.
she traps Trigon. Because the whole thing is she traps him in the gem, and then like after that she can go full demon if she wanted to, because kind of Trigon is with her because he's in the stone or something. Like that's the part where I get phasey on it, but I do know for sure that he's in the stone, not going to be there until he's trapped in there.
Which is fine with me.
I actually don't mind it. Like, I'm on the side of these two to where Beast Boy looking like comic-wise, the hair is kind of spot on. It's got that, like, kind of spiky short fro to it.
That, like, spiky that kind of, like, lays.
Yeah, and, like, with Raven...
Too long to actually spike it.
I know that some people have been like, well, what about the... like blue hair, like why does she got blue hair? I don't mind the blue. Like I'm not one of those people.
Blue, wasn't it?
It was blue. There was also like black. She had black hair. There's also gray hair Raven. Like I think more people wanted the black haired Raven. That's what people want, is her to have black hair. They want her to have, and most of it, like I'm saying, it's going back to the old costumes of what they wanted. Yeah, so like I'm looking at pictures right now of Raven. A lot of them are
black hair.
Most of them are black. Some of them have like a purple, bluish hair, but I don't really mind what they were going with Raven. The big one...
No, I want to add one thing before we move on to Starfire.
Because that's going to be the whole thing.
These are the liberties that I say are fine.
Yeah.
Change the hair up a little bit to kind of make it feel more... You want to take it from comic, make it feel more real worldish. I'm not completely opposed to making Beast Boy normal skin tone.
Yet again, with Raven also, we don't know what's going to be CGI'd. Because
exactly.
Think about it. When, like, I know this isn't until far down, until after she gets the stone, but in the cartoons and stuff, when she demons out, eyes turn red, she gets the...
Second pair of eyes.
She gets the eyes
like
up here.
Horns.
Yeah. Also, like, when she's using her powers, like in the cartoon, you would get that black and white, like... around, like that was her powers, and her eyes would go
Azrath-Metreon Zinthos.
Yes. So, I mean, there's going to be CGI with her as well.
Yeah.
I want to give you the floor, though, because moving into the last one, which is Starfire, you, when you first saw it, are not a fan of the look that they've done for Starfire. Still not a fan,
no matter what you say.
Well, I'm giving you the floor. What do you think of the Starfire get-up?
You want to hear my exact
Everything.
words?
Go into it.
She looks like, as we read online, I cannot agree more. She looks like a tranny hooker. Yeah,
she looks like
I'm sorry.
I didn't see it until you're like, why does she look like a hooker? And I went, huh, she kind of does.
Well, kind of does. I'll describe the picture, but you can look at it in the comments.
For our audio listeners.
So she's got this very like fake, almost polyester looking dress.
Yeah.
She's got a
kind of like one that you might get at a Forever 21.
Yeah,
if those are still around.
These what they said velour or like a
thrift store boots.
Thrift store boots, like purple in color. She's got a fur coat on. She's got a fur coat on,
but not a mink fur coat.
No, like a shitty thrift store looking fur coat. And the hair, I mean, close to the color, I guess, but like, what's with the like curl, like the really tight curl for all of them?
I don't like
any of it. When the costuming, it's horrible.
When it comes to the hair, that's the one part of this get up that I don't mind. I don't mind the color that they chose for the hair. I don't mind the style.
I don't mind the color. I don't like the style.
Like, and the style for me, would I have preferred what it looks like in the cartoons and the comics? Yes. But when it comes to the hair, that's the least of my worry. And honestly, the other thing, to kind of play devil's advocate to you, and we've said this throughout.
Yeah.
We don't know what the story is at this point. We don't know what they're going to do with Starfire in general for this. So
that's true.
There's that as well. How are they going to play? Because the interesting thing with all this is because they're putting the Titans together, they got to string up the origin stories and make them tie together.
But the costume makes again, like we've said, it makes her look like a hooker in that one. And like, I've got no problem with the actress they picked or any of that. It's just someone in the costuming department needs to have get hit in the head for a second, because I know you said you don't mind the hair, but I don't like it. Look at the other pictures of her normal hair.
Yeah, you want the long, because like
the flow. Her hair is really nice.
Flowing hair,
something
and,
along the lines of that.
And there's even some where like with her powers where the hair goes back and it just kind of transforms into like a flame.
Yeah, that's fine
looks like
too.
That
would be the CGIing stuff.
I mean, the thing with Starfire, where she is going to be she's going to be the most interesting one here, because first off, she is the most alien of all of these. Like, she doesn't come from Earth.
No.
The thing that is also interesting, the thing that kind of plays into it, and I don't remember if the cartoon dove into this. I'm looking right now at her origin. I'll read a little bit. Maybe this plays in. Like, I'm not trying to defend the decision.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out why they're making this decision. And the thing that I'm reading here that could play into it is, so a little backstory where she is the her older sister, Commandar, was the first in the line of succession, but she was crippled by a childhood illness that robbed her of her natural ability to convert ultraviolet light into flight energy. Need to give you that for this. So you have Corlandar, which is Starfire, endured 6 years of torture and sexual abuse until she and her older sister were released from experimentation by the Pisons. The Pisons were a largely sadistic scientists who performed a deadly experiment on both of the sisters to see just how the energy of their bodies absorbed before exploding from Overlord. So here, I'm tying this together. Not saying this is the story, but play with me here. This might be why we see what we see right now.
Okay.
Who's the main villain that they've said is going to be the main villain of this?
Trigon.
Is Trigon going to be there right from episode 1?
I don't think they said he was.
No, he's not.
No.
In order to do the ritual, who do we need? We need Brother Blood.
Yeah.
We need that whole cult. Here's what I think is going to happen. They're going to they're not going to have the Pisons, the Psions in it, but I feel like maybe Brother Blood plays that role where Starfire's here on Earth. Oh, wait, we look at her powers. Let's kidnap her, see if we can use this to our advantage when we summon or to summon. So maybe this is playing into the whole side of the story where she endured the torture of sexual abuse. What would be sexual abuse? Being a prostitute.
Could be.
Maybe she's forced into that life in some way. Maybe that's them referencing that in some way. Not saying that I'm defending what she looks like, but that could be where they are in the story.
Well, I hope that's the case then, as bad as that sounds. But that's just
for the story.
For the story.
Yeah.
But because I hope, like, somewhere within the first few episodes, they switch her back to looking more like Starfire and less like a hooker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan at all of this costume. Like I said, Beast Boy and Raven are liberties that I'm like, those are great. That's fine. Make them look more real world. This is not one of those places where it's like the liberties have gone a little too far.
And the part of this, and this is the last thing I kind of wanted to hit on with this one, notice how when we talked about Starfire, what's the one thing about Starfire that both you and I'm not saying this to be like, oh, we're holier than thou for this.
Yeah.
But what's the one thing you and I do not have a problem with when it comes to Starfire? What do you think I'm hitting at here?
The actress who's playing it?
The actress. What race is the actress, Johnny?
She's African American.
She's African American.
Got nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing. And that's the one thing where the thing that is most, I kind of want to use the word deplorable.
Yeah.
And it's just terrible is the thing that, so she's come out defending herself. But the reason why she's had to is like it says here in the article I'm reading. However, the actress most importantly addressed referring to the disturbing comments she received regarding the color of her skin. And her comment was, she had a whole Instagram post with it as well. She goes, racist, derogatory, and or crude comments have nothing to do with the person on the receiving end of that abuse. And because I know this, I'm unfazed. Smiley face. But for anyone out there who may not, I am here to remind you that whatever ugly, negative thing anyone ever chooses to say about you is always a reflection and a revelation on themselves. It does not define you, and it certainly does not make you any less perfect than you are. Be you, stay beautiful. That's the thing. Like, that's the problem that I have when it comes to this.
I agree.
Is, like, let's be completely honest. Like, there are some other roles, like anywhere else, where you get the whole maybe the gender bend or the race bend, where there always will be those people. This character was like the whole Danny Rand thing.
Oh,
this character was Asian, or this had Asian in the comics. Why is he being portrayed by a white person? Or like, this guy was a white guy in the comics. Why are we making him black in this movie? Like, there are always things like that. There will always be people that maybe have that thought because what their reference point to it, whether it be the comic, whether it be the cartoon, was a different, like, it was different. And we always link to, the way I think is when we're children, we have a different mind. Our minds are still growing and developing to where we latch on
to something like
that time.
To the reference point.
Well, to that reference point because it was just a simpler time for us.
Yeah, that, and it's like, it's what what I'm trying used to. It's what we're connected to.
And by having that, by seeing that, it brings us back to, like, maybe by seeing it exactly how you remember it brings you back to that time.
Well, here's a good example of what you and I of that in a sense is I don't remember if you saw it, but I know I didn't see all of it. I just watched a lot of clips on YouTube and stuff. Yeah. The Fan 4 stick.
I've never watched it. But what was Fan 4 stick?
What was the gripe you and I had about it? Not about switching race of a character. It was that, like, why not just switch all of the Storm family to that then?
Oh, the whole
Johnny Storm
and him and Susan were different races.
Yeah, just because they're adopted. It's like, I'm more of a, you know what? They were an actual family. They were brother and sister.
The thing that I heard that people didn't like was that we can't figure out how to make the Thing actually like look good.
We still have yet to do that. Yeah, we can make a really good Korg.
Yeah, well, Marvel.
Yeah,
that's why we got to get Fan 4 stick over Marvel. It's just Korg just becomes the Thing. That's what it is. Korg just becomes the Thing.
Sounds great to me.
I mean, he was great in Thor Ragnarok, but that's besides the point. But I mean, that's what this. That's why I feel like some people are latching onto that. I'm not gonna throw any gripes. I'm not gonna be mad at this. And I know some people might say, "Well, Ricky, you're a DC guy. Of course, you're gonna think like that. You want to think the best for your product." Until we actually see this,
like I said, that's the one costume that I'm like against right now. I understand as an artist taking your liberties, but I don't like it. And I'll wait till see what the storyline is, but right now you do not have my favor on what you do with Starfire.
And that's the one thing that I haven't heard. Maybe there are people that say that, but that's the one thing I haven't even heard anyone say is the storyline of her and her sister in the comics being torture or years of torture and sexual abuse. Maybe that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah,
we don't know what the story of.
Oh no, I agree with you.
Titans
and
is
I'll wait
now.
to see what the story is. But right now, they don't have my favor in that costuming decision.
If this is the costume of her throughout the entire thing, I will be right on board with you.
Yeah.
But I want to see where they're going.
Oh no, I agree
with the story. Any final things you want to mention about the Titans series or in general?
No, I still am excited to go see it. Like I said, I like the real world twist now that I looked more and more at it of Raven and Beast Boy. You already know my feelings about Starfire, so we'll wait and see what the storyline is.
So now we've seen, just to recap, we've seen these three: Raven, Beast Boy, Starfire. We've seen what Robin's going to look like in the costume, which is very traditional Robin. There was nothing really to complain in my mind about Robin. And I think we've seen concept art on the Hawk and Dove
we've seen
costumes. I know we've seen Alan Richton, Thad Castle from Blue Mountain State, who's going to be playing Hawk in that one. We've seen him kind of tweet and put videos out about that. My favorite one is him running like in Montreal through the snow.
Yeah.
And it was very cold, so it was hard for him to breathe midway through his run. So that was a little funny to see him go through that. But this is where I want you guys to come in. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. What do you think about Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire? Let us know everything. What do you guys think? What do you like? What do you dislike? Let us know in those comments.